My name is Justin Wall. I'm an 8-figure e-commerce entrepreneur, and I've been selling online for the past 10 years. This is all that I know, guys. If you're not sure where to start, or you already have an e-commerce business but want to find actual consistency this year while utilizing a unique and proven system of one of the most consistently successful e-commerce experiences in the industry with 8 figures plus in sales, then I have something to walk you through today. Give me 2 minutes of your time. Most people believe it's going to take 5 to 10 years of experience in the industry of trial and error, failed product after failed product, editing your store time and time again to actually be successful. It doesn't. It takes a few months of following a true and proven system because it's 2022. And we know what works because we've done this for ourselves and our own stores and our students more times than almost anyone else on the marketplace. Now, here's some of what we're going to cover together. In this experience, I'm literally going to show you every single pillar and system that is needed to actually achieve consistency in your store and brand in 2022, even after iOS updates, that will finally enable you to move forward, grow, and achieve profitability while keeping your ad spend and budget at a minimum. We will be covering in the most in-depth way possible every single system and nuance that goes along with product research, Facebook ads, algorithmic targeting, finding and scaling winning ad sets. I will share all the up-to-date and proven insights on Facebook ads, scaling, targeting, product research, ad optimization, store traffic and conversion knowledge, upsell strategies, email campaigns, sourcing, and much more, which can actually bring you to that 6 or even 7-figure mark. The same systems that I'm using right now to do the same exact thing in my own businesses every single day, which is so amazing. I will also reveal the exact winning products and markets for what works throughout the experience as well, based on what's working for me, so you can skip the line and spend less time researching and actually know what works and spend more time running ads and actually making sales at a profitable rate. Okay, whether you're brand new or you're already doing 6 or 7 figures a year, I guarantee you that you'll be absolutely blown away by the case studies, the winning product examples that I'll be giving you, and the exact ad strategies that I'm using right now to make millions of dollars in my own businesses. My goal here is to create the most valuable experience possible for the dirt cheap investment, just to hold my people true to actually utilizing the program, because everything within the 100K blueprint and launchpad is utilized properly, so you'll actually be operating a legit e-commerce business that cash flows if you do it right. The systems and the extremely step-by-step guidelines that I have laid out here in an easy-to-follow roadmap will enable you to actually find products that have actual demand, okay, how to target these people who actually want to buy your products, and how to build a real foundational infrastructure for your ads that focuses on low-budget consistency so you have less volatility, okay, along with the entire BSF farm method that has done over 8 figures in student sales alone. Pretty much the closest thing that you can get to a guarantee of making this thing work. Now, not too long ago, Shopify's affiliate manager invited us out to their headquarters because he was astonished by the consistency of our own student results, all by utilizing the exact blueprint that I've created for all my businesses as well, and that's exactly what lies on the other side of this page. I'm sick of people overcharging for worthless information from 2017 that leaves you tired, upset, and lighter in your pockets with less ad spend. I've charged thousands of dollars for this information before, and I've read so many success stories that I genuinely lost track. And not only will I walk you through every single detail to actually have your store converting in 2022 and not looking like it's from 2016 anymore, I'll also ensure that the entire foundation of your store looks identical to my stores that have done millions of dollars in sales as well. Not only that, but I'll also be walking you through an extremely in-depth, multi-hour-long product research system that I and my students have used to find products that everyone else in the marketplace are not selling. I'm also going to show you every single nuance that comes into play when actually locating the targeting and demographic of people who actually want to purchase these items from you. It's essentially a foolproof way to get qualified buyers to your website so you don't waste any more money on bad traffic. Most importantly, I'm going to give you every detail of the BSF farm system that I've been creating and documenting for the last several years so you can actually stop going back and forth on YouTube from people who have no idea what they're doing with no results, so you can actually follow a system that will enable you to minimize your spend and maximize your results, because we don't scale unless we actually see profit. This alone could be worth $10,000 to someone who's actually motivated to use it. And on top of that, I'm going to be physically showing you my winning products. Okay, I'm giving you my own winners. Okay, and products that I've done over 6 figures a month with, 40K a day, $1 million in a month with before as well. And I know it sounds overwhelming, but my goal is to help you achieve 10 to 100K a month with the same exact systems I've used to achieve those same results. And I'm going to show you how myself and my 8-figure marketing team are able to create award-winning ads and thumbnails from our own laptops as well, so you can do the same exact thing. My goal is to show you what I've been building over the last several years and what actually works in 2022 after the Facebook changes over almost any other system out there. I'll also be including my BSF farm advertising system graphic and my full-on walkthroughs, my 7- and 8-figure mastermind replays so you can hear the questions that my big players have, and student testimonials and case studies of people who have actually used this system to make millions of dollars. Imagine this experience helps you make an extra $10,000 a month or more in your new or existing business. If you think about it, if you skip Starbucks for the next few days, you now paid for what can be the most incredible e-commerce done right and for you genuine experience that is meant to change the way that you've been doing things in the past fast so you actually get real results and a real business built within the next few weeks. That's so worth it. And I hope this shows you that I genuinely care about you and my reputation more than I do about a few course dollars, because I can easily sell this for 10,000 bucks like I mentioned. Trust your gut, grab my 100K blueprint and launchpad, and it will genuinely be the most valuable gut instinct investment you've ever made. So follow the prompts on this page, grab the BSF 100K blueprint and launchpad, and save the thousands for you and your business, because this is more valuable than anything else out there anyway. Click the link somewhere around this video, grab it, and you'll be very, very happy you did.
Dude, I'm doing great, man. It's good to be here. I love the energy and this call. Every time I join the call, I get like the warm and fuzzies. I get super excited. So it's just
I appreciate that, man. And overall, Luke, you've been a really, really awesome story the last, not only the last few weeks, last few months, in terms of scaling to the moon, having to do pre-orders, recalibrating and getting back to where you are now is really, really cool. I would love for you to kind of talk about your journey, how that started, how it ended, and how it's continuing at this point, and what happened in between all those kind of middle ground points and everything in between the entire journey.
Yeah, sure. So I joined the program July of last year, and before I joined BSF, I can honestly say that I created literally 15 different stores, and none of them ever worked. So if somebody like me can actually make something like this happen, then I think anybody can make this happen, because literally I hit my head against the wall so many different times that I literally quit for 2 years basically, and did development work and on the side just to generate some cash. I always have a very entrepreneurial mindset. I think Justin, you had said, okay, what does it take? And then I'll get to my journey, but I want just a few tips first.
Yeah.
What does it take to kind of get to this place, or this mental space where things just happen and work out for you? I feel like a lot of it's the basics. It's stuff that it's the cliche sayings. There's someone has told me, hey, if you hear something cliche, you better perk up your ears because it's probably true. So being dedicated to what you want to do with your life, and basically just making sure that you're setting time in your day to actually work on the things that you would like to work on and that are just yours and nobody else's. For instance, I set my alarm at 4 a.m. every day, and sometimes I get up earlier. And I've been doing that for years now. And I felt like that's actually helped me accomplish a lot more things that other people don't accomplish. I still have a full-time job. I have 3 young kids, a wife. I got, tons of to manage. So I know people struggle with the time management aspect, but you can make it happen. You can get the time in your day to make this happen for yourself. And I'm a big on, now as I went to university for the first time in July, I don't know if you remember, Justin, I had a store originally, and I think I posted it on BSF, and I was like, hey, what do you guys think? And you're basically this is garbage. Dude, this is not good. No, bro, this is not it. You need to follow the what's laid out in the system. So I had a store guys with literally 1,500 different products, and I decided on that day, it hasn't been working for me. And this is another thing I've learned a lot is if something's not working, do something else or do something different. Don't keep trying to do it the same way or in the same shape or form. It doesn't mean that drop shipping doesn't work or something, or this model doesn't work. It just means maybe you're not taking exactly the right approach with a certain task or something like that. So I literally deleted all 1,500 products. I had my intern at the time. I was like, all right, just delete everything. Just delete all the products. He's like, dude, are you crazy? I'm like, no, just delete it all. So I literally deleted all 1,500 products. I blew up the complete store, and I rebuilt it using the BSF methodology, completely general. I put the 15 to 20 products on there, which, at first, this is just like anything. When you first start out on something, you're not very good at it, right? I remember it took me 3 days to get 3 products, the very beginning. And I was just like, dude, this sucks. But then eventually you kind of get a keen eye. I started to realize, YouTube and the product research method is actually kind of a killer So sometimes I would just take a product, if I saw it on like Ad Inspect, I would take it into YouTube first and then move it backwards to like Google Trends, Amazon, and things like that. So what I'm getting at is with anything, if you're first starting out and you just feel like, oh gosh, this is so hard, I'm just not getting this. Well, I'm a big person to learn by doing. So that's just what I've done my whole life, is I just keep doing stuff. As I keep doing stuff, what I'm basically doing is I'm conditioning myself to just get better and better and better, because if you keep practicing and you keep doing something over and over and over again, you're obviously going to get better at it, right? Like, this is just like practice makes perfect. You know, one of these cliche sayings. It's like, you're like, oh, that's kind of bullshit. But no, that's really how it works. So basically with each part of the BSF program, not just product research, I just did it. I just tried it. Like, and I realized that, you know what, I might not find the best products, and I might, it might not be perfect, but, you know, I think perfection's a lot of what holds me back, actually, sometimes. Like, I don't take action because I'm like, oh, I just want this to be exactly the right, like the ad, the landing page, the video. But the thing is, if the product is hot enough and there's enough demand, and you kind of get it to where if it's just good enough, it'll freaking work and it'll start to blow up. Just like Alvaro was talking about, like you'll spend $100. I think I had a similar situation when I first started out doing the duplication method. I mean, this thing went like 2 sales, 4, 8, and it just started going crazy as I started to duplicate. So, and it wasn't perfect, and it's probably still not perfect to this day. So I would just say, like, to everybody out there, that I would say take action. You know, learn something, take action, and keep taking action until you feel like you've really gotten it. Post on the BSF, get the kind of, that's what I did a lot in the beginning, is I posted out there and I said, hey, what do you think of this, or what do you think of that? You know, it came to ads or my copy or my landing pages. And once I kind of got the gist, I was like, okay, I kind of got the idea. Let me go bang out a few more product pages or do a few more ad copies. And so again, this is just me progressively trying to keep putting. It's kind of like when you put a product out there, it's another chance at literally changing your life, right? So like, I just kept throwing chances out there, right? Kept saying, oh, I'm going to test this one, test that one, test this one. So I actually eventually, at some point in time, I was getting quite frustrated. I mean, this happens to everybody because, again, if it's not working, change what you're doing. So one day I was like, you know, there was this like one product I tested like 2.5 years ago that like I knew nothing. I literally knew nothing about like the systems or anything like that. And I did make sales, and it was like somewhat break even. And I was like, you know, I guess I could, test that product, I guess, and see what happens. Little do you know, I put that product up, and this is kind of what happens, I would say, is that you kind of know if you got a product, if all of a sudden it's very natural. And I think Arvin speaks to this a lot. He's all about natural, letting things happen. So this product like literally just took off like wildfire, because I had already done a bunch of stuff, right? I did like 10 different product pages and tested a few different things. I even had one product that I got all the way up through Micro Big Bang, and I remember, Justin, you might remember that product where it's like, it's
Yep.
kind of making money, but it's kind of not. It's a little inconsistent, you know, it's hit or miss. The margins were like it was like $10 to $15, and it just was really, really close.
Yeah.
I think after that point, and since I did all those product pages and I ran advertisements, that I knew exactly what to do. You know, I was just like, oh, I know this, and I just started banging out ads. Like, I just knew exactly what to do when I actually found a product that actually had some traction by running other products. So you might think, oh, dang it, this product is not working, and no matter what I do, it's not working. Well, it's like, that's okay, because it doesn't matter if it didn't work. You have to realize that you actually grew by building that product, creating the ad copy. You became a better marketer. You started to learn Facebook a bit more. You started to understand things a bit. So that's what you have to realize. It's not a complete loss just because, okay, this one product didn't work out for me, and oh gosh, it sucks. I'm not going to lie, I was not happy. I was quite upset, you know, that I had this product and it was getting up there and it was Micro Big Bang. I was like, oh man, you know, this is it. We like to get excited, you know, and we know life is a roller coaster a bit. So yeah, I was upset, you know. I was like, damn it, I wanted that product.
But you eventually grow it to. Talk about like the pre-order and the revenue that you had in the pre-order, holding yourself back from scaling as well.
Yeah, so then once I found that product, I mean, I just scaled it all the way up. Like, I just scaled it as hard as possible. Like, I literally just went algo duping, Then I went Micro Big Bang at 100 sales and the thing is, Micro Big Bang was crazy profitable. It was like 4 ROAS or something stupid. So I had like, I remember there was like one weekend where I think it was like my first like 1K day or something, and I was like, holy shit! Like then I was like, whoa, this is I was like, oh man. But then I think the next day it like dipped, and I was like, oh no, it was like $800. I was like, oh no, man. But I think I even posted on the group like, hey, this is what's going on. My conversion rate's off today. But you say this a lot, Justin, and I totally agree with this. It's like, okay, one day doesn't really define a product. It's really about like weeks, months. So basically almost every day is profitable. You know, here or there, we have a day that's like, okay, it's a little less margins, but we still make money. Like Alvaro, I think this product's only lost money like one day out of the whole time I've run it. So you might even have those down days when you're first trying to get that consistency on a product.
Yeah,
but I did like 1K, and then after that, I did like 2.5, and then I did like 4, 6. Then I launched Big Bang. I did like 8, and then I started playing with CBOs because I felt like it seems like with CBOs, it's like once you have some data, those things are pretty dangerous actually. Like,
oh yeah, it's like
I had like a
world manual bid almost.
Yeah, it was like I had like a $150 CBO. I did like 4 ROAS. Then I just doubled it because I think I was talking to you about that at the time. Yeah. I was like, oh, dude, you're just like, dude, double it. Like, just be aggressive. Because the thing is, like, it's just not, people like to say, oh, this is like gambling. But like, the thing is, there's data to back your decisions. So it's not like I spent money and I got 4X return. So like, why shouldn't I try to spend more and dial it back if I need to? So that's the other thing too, is don't really be scared to like use the system and just push the product that people are buying and that you're getting return on. Like, just keep pushing it. So eventually through all of that, I think I had like literally everything running. I had Algo, I had, and I was vertically scaling, you know, the 20 to 50% on each of the ads that were working from the beginning. All the dupes, I started to kill off the ones that were bad. I had algorithmic CBO running. I had Algo Big Bang running, Big Bang, Micro Big Bang. Basically anything, any part of the farm, I was running it. Okay. And that's why I did like 11K. And I've repeated that, I guess like a month or so ago when it was like, you know, around December time and people were going crazy. But yeah, the thing is, I think Sergey was talking about this is like, and even Alvaro was kind of getting to the point where, and this is what I was telling Justin one day. I'm like, oh, different problems are good problems. Because basically if you're hitting the same problem over and over again, that's what I was getting at earlier, is change something, right? So once I got to that peak and I was running at that like for like 10 days or something, my supplier reaches out to me and says, hey, we have a bit of an issue, you know, and I started looking, I'm like, hey, you know, things aren't really being fulfilled, you know, like I don't understand why orders are not being shipped. So he reached out to me and was like, hey, we have a bit of an issue, you know, we have a problem. So he's like, you know, basically our operations are like the U.S. operations is kind of like tanked. And so basically what I had to do for a point in time is I just shut everything off because I didn't have good enough information. And the thing about you have to realize about Facebook is eventually you get a quality score, and that quality score is like the Bible, or like that's just something you have to pay super close attention to. Yeah. I mean, like literally, yeah. If you don't have a quality score, you don't have an ad account, basically. So I remember one day I just shut everything off. And so I basically took that time to figure out, okay, what's going on, what's happening. But anyway, I was able to turn things back on because I was like, you know what, screw it. Like I got a timeline and he's like, okay, I'll start shipping out things on this date. Then I just said, okay, well, like if I could ship certain SKUs out and certain ones I couldn't. So I basically set up a pre-order to where I knew demand was hot enough. Like I was just like, it doesn't matter. Like if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, people didn't really care because, and I was like, screw it, I'll just try it. And again, this is like trying stuff out or just seeing if it works. So I was able to run pre-orders for like, and I was doing like 5 or 6K days with just pre-orders, products we weren't even shipping out until like 2 to 3 weeks. We actually just recently, everything, and I think I was confused with that time, but we had a similar situation where like, okay, now everything's gone. And so now with like Chinese New Year's coming up, we decided to do like a bulk order. So basically I'm taking more and more control of the business. You know, before we don't have visibility on inventory levels. This is kind of like the downside or one of the downsides of like just throwing orders to your supplier. You don't know if they can be fulfilled every single time or not. I mean, you hope so. but basically we ended up doing a bulk order, and so we're currently fulfilling things from China. We were fulfilling things from the U.S., but I'm like, you know what? We're just going to fulfill from China for the time being because there's nothing else we could do because there's no U.S. operations in place. So we're still able to do and I'm not trying to go crazy scale because again, I monitor. Yeah, so I'm doing right now I'm doing anywhere from 3 to 5K, just kind of depending on the day. I'm testing out some, other creatives, just like Justin talks about. I'm running some algos on different creatives, getting photography done. It's going to start working on a landing page. So, I mean, basically, I'm just leveraging all the BSF tools. And then the other thing I would say is that you have to always be changing, adapting, evolving. Because if you're just and I made this mistake. I'm not going to lie. I sat on the ads for a while, just let them run because I'm tired. I'm just going to let them run and make 10K a day.
Screw it. I'm fine. I'm making money.
Yeah, that's, you get comfortable, right? You're like, oh, whatever. And I kind of realized this, but I couldn't get myself to take action. And I think it was just, I think it was a bit of I had been working for 2.5, 3 years straight, 4 a.m. every day. And I was like, man, I don't want to work that much. I couldn't get my body to do it no matter what. So basically, all these issues coming about, though, has taught me that you can't just rest on your laurels. You still need to be adjusting, adapting, moving. Another thing we've done successfully, I would say, is we didn't just keep the product static. A lot of people would say, hey, I want a different size. I want a different color. I want to put something on the product, right? So that's another thing, too. As you get more traction, you start to get a lot of comments. And what that means is, hey, customers are going to start telling you what you should do with your product. Well, I'm not one to not take in free information and give it a shot. So I was actually able to work with my supplier and we provide a larger size that no one else provides except me. So it's a competitive advantage now, and it's everybody's asking, so anyway, so
closer to being a real legitimate brand. This is really possible.
Yeah.
Starting off bootlegging it, bootstrapping it to becoming a real business, a real brand where you could do 10K days with pre-orders. So I really love it. And Luke, keep going, man. Awesome.